Story 1. I'm visiting the dog park with some friends and our dogs, and we had a little incident that put a damper on our otherwise fun and wholesome time together. I was taking pictures of all the dogs, as well as some of the other dogs that were there. There were 2 other families there as well, and their dogs were in some of the pictures. One family was perfectly happy to have their dogs included in the pictures, but the mom of the other family completely flipped out. She went on a whole rant about how it invaded her privacy and made her uncomfortable. Let me emphasize, I only took pictures of her dogs, not her. And I didn't single her dogs out. I was taking pictures of all the dogs at the park, which I should reiterate is a public place, my own, my friends, the other families, and hers. I told her I didn't intend to cause any discomfort and that I just really like dogs and taking pictures of them, but ultimately apologized and said I would delete the photos from my phone. She didn't relent, continuing to berate me for invading her privacy, saying that because I have a public-facing job and help out at my church, I should know better. I'm guessing she knew these things because one of my friends had been making conversation with her prior to this incident. She gathered up her dogs and her kids and left, and I thought that was the end of it. My friends who were with me thought that she overreacted and that I didn't do anything wrong. However, a little while later, she returns with her phone in hand and starts recording me, as if that's not, debatably, an actual invasion of privacy. She talks crap about me to the recording and goes on again about how inappropriately I supposedly behaved. She gives my name and my church as if it's a call to action for whoever believes her. She briefly points her camera at my friends as well and tries to imply that they are guilty by association. After that, she finally left again, seemingly continuing to rant at her camera on the way out. By this point, my friends agree that her behavior is way out of line and continuing reassuring me that I didn't do anything wrong. I still figured outside perspective on this would be good. So, did she overreact, or was it really inappropriate of me to take the pictures? Story 2. She's quite a short-tempered person, whereas I'm quite the opposite. Unless you offend me deeply or do something outrageous, I'll hold on to it, but usually if it's minor, I'll be angry for a bit then get some fresh air and I'm good. Whereas her, she usually tends to hold on to things, doesn't matter how small or big. Until an apology is brought forth, she won't speak to me, even if it's both-sided and we just didn't agree on something. I work 5 days a week and usually game with my friends on my early evenings and mostly the weekends. She plays with me too. But she's really against me playing while we aren't on speaking terms. She doesn't like solving things right away, so she needs time, but at the same time doesn't want me gaming while she's doing that. Like, it's a bit harsh to not feel like speaking to someone but at the same time saying they can't do something they enjoy. I get the whole you can't be happy while I'm upset, but this is the only time I really have. I understand me gaming and I guess having fun is what is ticking her off and could make me the a-hole, but it's my weekend as well and she doesn't work. Face with rolling eyes. Story 3. I work as an executive assistant and have supported the same 2 managers for 7 years. I have an agreement with them that basically permits me to WFH when possible. For example, if both are WFH then I can WFH too. They can WFH because I do a lot of work that they're supposed to do, like approving bills. There are other EAS who work for other managers and they all are to be in the office every day. There is a work policy that people in my position work in the office every day, but ultimately your managers have final say. That wasn't always the case. EAS were once able to WFH once a week until they screwed up by being missing in action and not getting work done. 8 months ago all of us were told to be in the office every day. My managers said to keep doing what I'm doing because they don't have an issue. I guess some of the EAS found out that I WFH a couple of days a week. My manager said the CEO was approached by a couple of EAS to reconsider the WFH policy. He said no, and especially if their managers also said no. Then they asked why I got to WFH and he said that's between me and my managers. I was pissed that they would bring my name up to the CEO. You don't do that. I barely know these EAS. We had an EA meeting and I had to say something. At the end of the meeting, the admin supervisor, our direct boss, but again, the managers have final say, so she goes with whatever the managers say, asked if anyone had anything to say. I said yes. I said that it was brought to my attention that Kelly went to the CEO to ask about my work arrangement with my manager. It's no one's business what arrangements I have in place. I have arrangements in place because I actually do work and my managers like me. Mind your own business or I'll call you out. Kelly was embarrassed and denied it. I said the CEO told my manager, so you're lying. Today the admin supervisor asked me if I would apologize for calling Kelly out. She went back to her cubicle in tears. I said nope. I'm not apologizing because she did something wrong. I would never do what she did and now she won't do it again. Story 4. So I, 32F, just got into a fight with my partner, 29M, over the litter tray. He asked me if I could do it for him as he was just in from taking the cat to the vet. Normally I wouldn't care and do it, but lately I've been feeling like more of a maid than partner. I've noticed that it's more me that does the cleaning, washing and sorting things around the house. He just cooks and mostly for himself. I even pick up some medicine and drops off stuff he needed delivered. I'm getting really annoyed with him acting like he doesn't ask for much when I do everything, then he gets pissed when I do put my foot down. So AITA, story 5. My F27 husband, M29, asked me to pick him up from work at 5 p.m. I received said text asking me to at around 12:30, so I checked the maps and it said that the trip was going to be around M1 HR 12 minutes to get to him. I left around 3:37 due to the fact we have a child, F3, so I like to leave early to arrive a bit early. As I hit the interstate, my maps now told me the trip will be 1 hour 54 minutes due to construction I was not anticipating to happen during that time. So I pulled over safely and texted him immediately about this information. At the same time, the maps shown me a quicker route by about 18 minutes, so I took it. I start driving and make it halfway to him when I received a text from him, so I carefully pulled over again to text him. This is how the conversation went. I texted him this: the first time I pulled over, me, traffic is bad so far, so I'll expect it to be there by 5:54 p.m. Him, how far are you from home? Me, exit XX, halfway there to him. Him, how the hell is it going to take you another hour and a half then? Me, construction blocking the main route. I found a faster one. Him, what? Me, the maps just offered me a faster route just now. Him, what time now then? Me, 5:35 p.m. Starts driving again. Him, great, just go home, I'll get a ride. Me, safely pulls over again. I'm literally on my way. Him, an hour away and they close in 30 minutes, so I'll be standing put here for an hour. No thanks, I'll find a ride. This is where I was immature and I accept that for sure, so I know I'm an ass for this part. Me, fine. Sorry, I can't predict the future when it comes to construction. I had no idea this was going to happen, but thanks for taking your frustration out on me. Fantastic, I really appreciate it. Him, not my fault you left at 4 knowing, insert big city name, traffic and passing construction this morning, we did not. Me, I left at 3:37 p.m., but okay. Him, sure you did. Me, I'm done talking to you, don't expect shit from me tonight. Again, I was immature for this, I know. Him, sounds healthy. Me, and you taking your anger out on me is okay. Him, how was any of that me taking my anger out on you? I listened to him and drove right back home as instructed and decided not to message back after this to not add any more fuel to the fire. I also made dinner and left it on the stove for him before I decided to take our child to the park so she could play for a bit before getting back. He made it back safely and I'm thankful for that. But he was slamming cabinets and doors, walking around angrily and glaring daggers at me the entire time. So Reddit, AITA for listening to my husband when he told me to go back home. TLDR, husband is mad at me because he told me to turn around and just go home after finding out he would have to stand outside for an hour due to unforeseen construction blocking the main route home, and I listened. Story 6. I have a pug and I take her walking outside with my girlfriend. While walking outside we stumbled upon this other pug that is always in the balcony of its apartment. When I mean always, I mean always. I'll go outside in the night like at 3 a.m. when it's super cold and the pug will still be outside, or when it's midday and it's all hot it's still on the balcony. The balcony would start smelling so bad due to the feces piling up of the dog not being walked outside. We've knocked on several different occasions to ask if we could walk the pug whenever we go walk our pug, but we were straight up ignored. I mean not even answering the door even though they were blasting music and paused it cause we knocked. We recently went to go check up on the little guy and saw that now he's locked up in the cage and is most likely going to be locked up in this cage for the entire night. Me and my girlfriend are debating waiting to call animal services on them in the morning or let them be since we don't know all the owner's problems and why they leave him outside. What should we do?